How do I show up authentic and vulnerable so I can create connection without going over onto the side of neediness? I'm going to show you how they're actually two different things and how you can really be vulnerable and show up so you can create connection without spilling over onto that side of looking needy. And in fact, I'm going to show you how you can never have to worry about looking needy ever again. So, what is the difference between neediness and vulnerability? Whenever you think about neediness, you're thinking about needing something. And whenever you need something that's outside of yourself, right? It's like take energy. You know, you can see this whenever you see people showing up on dates in movies, whenever it's supposed to be really cringy, and the guy comes up to the woman, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink?" And it's all just like, ugh, like get away from me. That is that needy, desperate energy that women can sense automatically. They can smell it coming around the corner, and it's an immediate turn off. They want to get out of there as quickly as possible. Nobody wants that pulling energy of always trying to like suck your energy and take something from you, and just always have your claws in you and just like trying to rip something from you. Man, I've talked to so many, I keep saying that the bar is set nice and low. I talk to so many women, some of my partners, and they'll go out on dates and they're just talking about how immediately the guy just feels entitled and he's just trying to get something from them. He's telling them automatically how much that they're beautiful and how much he likes them. And it's just this desperation. And they're just like, ugh, just an immediate turnoff. I don't want anything to do with that. It's just not attractive. It's not confident. Whenever you're feeling like you're needing something, you need to be able to give that to yourself. And if you're automatically reaching outside of yourself, if you're going out, then you're already in the second connection. And whenever you're in that second connection that's not feeling right, that means that you haven't taken care of that foundational first connection beforehand. And you've got to get to that first connection first. That's the foundation. And then the second connection takes care of itself, all by itself. So the second connection is the connection to others, as your peers, as your partners. And that's the seductive one. Like we really want to get there really quick because we want that partnership. We want that energy exchange. But what we have to understand is that if there's an imbalance there and if there's something that doesn't feel right, like you're lacking something because you need it and you need somebody else to give that to you, especially if they're not willing to give it to you, then you know that you need to take care of something else first. That's the connection to yourself. That's that self-love. That's that self-trust. Whenever you're able to accept all of your desires and everything that you want, and you're acting because of intrinsic motivation rather than what somebody else wants for your life, then that's when you can create that real connection with yourself. And whenever you do that, you just exude that self-connection. And people are really attracted to that. So neediness is kind of the opposite of vulnerability. It's not the same thing. People think, oh, I want to be vulnerable and I'm going to show up. And if I'm too vulnerable, then I'm going to be needy. But they're actually two different. You need to pull and get something from someone else. In this University of Michigan article, they talk about vulnerability as the way that we connect with one another. The link to that article is in the description. They talk about how vulnerability is us exposing any part of ourselves, if it's energy, behavior, thoughts, ideas, but it's putting ourselves in the arena. It's exposing a part of ourselves so that we can make that connection. And so a lot of people, especially men in our young age, were taught that being vulnerable is a weakness, right? We don't want to expose ourselves so we can look weak. But in reality, it's the opposite of that. Nothing further from the truth. Like our strength lies in our vulnerability and our ability to create connections with other humans. And it really fortifies us. So it's the opposite of that. You have to be able to show up vulnerable to the people that you care about and the people that you trust. You want to have discernment, but those people that you care about and are in that circle, those are the people that you need to be able to show up vulnerable to so that you can create those connections and build that strength. Brene Brown has a quote in that article where she talks about how vulnerability is truth and courage. And those two things are not always easy, but they are definitely the mark of strength and not of weakness. So vulnerability is in the first connection, and it is about us being able to expose ourselves and being able to trust. Then that's in the first connection. And whenever we look at the inside out method, then we see how it is exactly tailored to be able to help us to create starting from the inside out, right? And this is the advice that I'm going to give you for almost any kind of interaction, anytime that you're feeling any discomfort or dis-ease, it's always about coming back to the first connection. We're always expending energy because of something that someone else wants us to do or somebody else told us was good for us and they don't really know. Whenever you're in that place, you don't have time to be worrying about what somebody else is doing, what somebody else has, how somebody else is thinking about you, right? You're just worried about connecting and being there for and with yourself. So just remember, whenever you're feeling needy, just remember to go back to that first connection. That's always the answer, inside out method. And then the second connection takes care of itself, and then you're going to be automatically propelled into your third connection, which is your place and power amongst your community. Remember, neediness is not the same as vulnerability. Neediness, that's in the second connection before you've even taken care of the foundation. And that's why it feels like that. So, if you need any help instilling all these principles so that you can find your life of bliss, then go ahead and like and subscribe, comment, and then click on the link and schedule your one-to-one consultation with me, and we'll figure it out for you. That's what I've got for you today. Just remember, bliss is your birthright. Zoom out. Peace.